Good morning! Happy Thursday, Holiday Hill family. We're back. Technical difficulties have now been fixed. And today's Throwback Thursday was going to be last week's Throwback Thursday, but it works really good for this week, so we're sticking with it. Fred Astaire. Many of you of a certain generation know that name instantly. You younger folks, you don't know. Fred Astaire is hands down one of the greatest actors to ever grace Hollywood. AFI actually listed him in the top 5 greatest actors of all time, only behind Brando, Jimmy Stewart, Clark Gable, and Bogey. He was number 5. Those are the only 4 ahead of him. Pretty amazing. But see, what brought Fred Astaire to the forefront? He was the son of I say Eastern European immigrants. And he grew up in Nebraska, but his mom had dreams and aspirations of her children, Fred being one of them, of fame and fortune and popularity because she saw the talent in Fred and his siblings. They started in New York. They did vaudeville. They did Broadway. And his popularity, and especially his dance moves, he was known for his dancing. Got him an opportunity for a screen test at Paramount. The screen test no longer exists to this day. But the assessment of that screen test said that he'd be unsuitable for film. But that didn't deter him. He ended up trying out for RKO Studios, and RKO, the urban legend says, that there was a note attached to Fred Astaire, and it said this: he can't act, he can't sing, he's balding, but he can dance a little. But he became popular above all else. Many of his dance partners, Gina Rogers, Rita Hayworth, and many others, famous Hollywood starlets, would rave about Fred Astaire and his dance moves, his acting, his charisma. He became a fashion icon. The tails and top hat and white tie that he'd always wear, which, by the way, he admitted he hated. He didn't like it at all. He became an icon of Hollywood fashion and standards. And people said he couldn't make it. And here we are, talking about him even to this very day. He retired, semi-retired by the 1960s. But the encouragement I want to give you guys, the real story about Fred Astaire I want to share with you is this. Well into his 70s, when dancing was far behind him, he could have rested on his laurels. He could have sat back and, appreciated all that his labor had given him. But he didn't give up. So much so he didn't give up. In his late 70s, he took up skateboarding. True story. Fred Astaire, in his late 70s, took up skateboarding. And in the late 1970s, he broke his wrist skateboarding his driveway. Imagine you working at an orthopedic specialist, and Fred Astaire, a 78-year-old Fred Astaire, walks into your office with a broken wrist from skateboarding. The man never gave up. What was interesting is, though he was so popular, he actually was a pretty laid-back guy. He wasn't really big on the Hollywood party scene. He actually just enjoyed his hobbies of skateboarding and playing the drums and basically just being with his family and raising his kids. He's a pretty conservative, laid-back kind of guy. But he took up skateboarding. He actually got a lifetime membership with the National Skateboard Association. And his face and his popularity brought legit popularity to the sport of skateboarding in the 70s before it really took off, before Tony Hawk and all of them. It was Fred Astaire. So what do we get from this? Here's the thing. There are moments in life where we've accomplished our goals. We've done what we set out to do. But be like Fred Astaire. Don't give up. Don't get lazy. Don't get bored. What's the next thing? What's the next step? Maybe you're really good at a thing and you're reaping the benefits of being really good at that thing. What's the next thing? What's your skateboarding experience going to be like? What is it for you? Things to consider today. This Sunday, we're going to talk about the prophet Amos and the concept of it's never too late. Fred Astaire started skateboarding in his 70s. Do the same. Try something new. Don't give up and don't get bored. Take care, and God bless.